Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to continue where we left off from our last video, and we're going to work on the mission, A Legacy Forge. We got to go talk to Victis again about everything we learned on these terramorphs and the connections and heat leeches and all that BS. Let's go get some answers, hopefully, and, you know, put the right person, give them the right punishment. And if it's him, finally kill him. Kill him off. Not hiding him, because then it's just what they all wanted. Or it's population control. I don't know. I've got a lot of theories. Shit. He's at the mast building, isn't he? Like underneath it, right? Oh man, autosave always freezes the game. It's so annoying. Over here. And let's choose subsection 7. Let's get some damn answers. Like, I've kept this whole identity and situation hush hush, you know, I've been discreet about it until now. Let's figure this out. Let's talk, dude.
Well, what a pleasant surprise. When I heard you and Hadrian were headed for Londinian of all places, I presumed you must be onto something big. Did you find what you were looking for?
Oh, we did, and a whole lot more. Don't play dumb. We know you're behind the attacks on New Atlantis and Tau Ceti. I don't know, is there anything you want to tell me about your time in Londinian?
I haven't been to Londinian in many years. Why? Is there some way I could be of assistance? Were you able to recover what you were looking for?
Oh, we did, and a whole lot more. Yeah.
Good news, then. So, what exactly are you doing here? Plenty still to be done in defeating the terramorphs, no?
Found a recording of you discussing the use of terramorphs as a weapon. I know you're involved in attacking Tau Ceti and New Atlantis. Please stop. You murdered UC citizens. You're going to pay for it. Now confess. We'll choose the first option.
Did you? Well, I don't know what you think you heard on this recording, but I sincerely hope you didn't come to the wrong conclusions. After all, given the Cabinet's current state of anxiety, they might misinterpret such a discovery to mean I could have been involved with the attacks. Perhaps I can convince you to keep this among us.
Let's see. So you really don't know anything about the attacks? Is that what you're claiming?
Of course. Do I look like I'm in any position to do what you're describing? So I'd very much appreciate your agreement to not share what you found. We wouldn't want anyone else jumping to conclusions now, would we?
Let's see. No more lies. Confess or turn over what I found. Sorry, I'm telling the cabinet what we learned. Consider this your chance to come clean. I've got no plans to tell anyone. I just want to know the truth. Let's do the third option.
You want to hear the words, then? I did it. The terramorph attacks on Tau Ceti, New Atlantis, my doing. Years of coordination between my associate and I, figuring out how to deploy the Lazarus plant's pollen outside of Londinian, learning to synthesize it, use it as a weapon. Now, being as clever as you are, I'm sure you have thoughts on why I might do such a thing.
Let's ask him. Associate, who have you been working with?
All in due time. First, I want to see if you're truly as astute as you appear. So why would someone like me go through all this trouble?
Our options, because you're a madman and a murderer and you lived to sow death. To work on something that long, this seems personal. No better way to show the UC what a deadly weapon they have in the Lazarus plant than to use it. To work on something that long, this seems personal.
You couldn't be more right. The attacks were a correction. When I discovered the plant, I did consider handing over what I'd found, but we were at war. And I couldn't risk information that dangerous falling into the wrong hands. So I ordered the bombing of the Londinian spaceport, fixing two problems at once. Halting the spread of the city's terramorph outbreak, and sealing away knowledge of the plant's potential.
Yep. You didn't even trust your own people in the UC?
These were the final days of the colony war, Captain. The Freestar Collective had spies everywhere. I was concerned that if word got out, the Collective could swoop down, start breeding Lazarus plants, and overrun our worlds with waves of terramorphs. Just like what was happening on Londinian at that very moment. Sealing off the city to prevent mass death, it was the only option that made sense at the time.
That information should have been handed over, secured it to keep it from ever being used. Maybe it is better the fewer people knew about it. You just said it took you years to use the plant outside Londinian. You killed them for nothing. Please, no secret is so dangerous that you can justify condemning so many lives. He's not wrong with that. He killed, millions to save billions. Kind of.
Biding your time, then?
Yeah, trying to find the right answer. Shut your dick hole. Security to keep it from never being used. Go with this one.
It's easy to judge now.
Oh, no shit.
In that moment, I wasn't about to add another dangerous variable to an already catastrophic war. But then, as the war ended, my trial, my execution, I made a decision. After all, I'd given everything for the colonies. My life as I knew it included. And what did I get in return? Was there any effort by the UC to protect my legacy? My daughter's legacy? No. We were sacrificed when all we did was serve. So I kept what I'd learned and arranged the attacks to set things right again. My daughter, she becomes a hero. I become a trusted advisor, having found Kaiser, the research team, and cement my new position of influence when I hand them the name of the person responsible for the attack on New Atlantis. The dear departed Dr. Reginald Orlays, the associate who aided me all these years, and whom I always slated to take the fall. What luck he was stopped dead before he could hurt anyone else. His decades on the run brought to an end by another unlikely hero. You.
And that was gonna pin it on me, but used me anyway. And why the hell do you care if the UC wants you as an advisor? How could you have coordinated all this from in here? Or Lays, was that sound familiar? Well, yeah, that was the guy with the ship that it wouldn't let me dock and board. My ship didn't have the weapons to do it. So you murder UC citizens because of some slight against your honor. You're sick. So I'm just here cleanup crew. You must think you're very clever. Why the hell do you care if the UC wants you as an advisor?
Why would I want to be in the good graces of the people who control my very life? I don't know, Captain. Maybe I still dream of a life outside these walls someday. A new face would be needed, of course, but it wasn't an impossibility. Though now, I'm not so sure.
How could you have coordinated all this from in here?
It wasn't easy. But the beauty of being loathed is that people will do whatever they can not to deal with you. They wanted to pretend I didn't exist. And so I used their blind eye to my advantage. Still, establishing a back channel to Orlays via the UC recovery teams was painstaking work. I've led campaigns less nerve-wracking. They believed they were luring in wanted criminals, but were in fact delivering precisely encoded slates, filled with instructions invisible to any but their recipient, dropped off at just the right moments to fall into the proper hands. All without the UC realizing whom you were actually dealing with. Slow work. But as you can see, ultimately effective.
Well, we know our lays, but I'd like to hear the dialogue.
Can't remember the many lives you've taken. Orlays was the man whose death you brought about around the moon of Etheria, the pilot of the Warlock, the man I had to eliminate, to hide my secret.
So I'm just your cleanup crew. You must think you're very clever.
Captain, please. You've benefited here as much as I have. Maybe more. It's why I had Orlays reprogram Kaiser. Had that old machine guide you to where I found the plant all those years ago. I went to great lengths to ensure your and Hadrian's success. And look at the results. I know for a fact the Cabinet's planning to honor both you and Hadrian once this is all done. Isn't that preferable to languishing away in obscurity? Running jobs on the tail end of nowhere for the Vanguard? With only the vague hopes of perhaps earning the right to buy a home in the well someday.
What kind of honors are we talking here?
Something befitting the dedication to the colonies you two have shown. While of course they can't give you a command, responsibility like that has to be earned. The Cabinet does have access to considerable resources. I expect you'll be quite pleased with the result. And none of it would have happened without my intervention.
They'd be honoring me for cleaning up your messes. If you're waiting for me to say thank you, we're going to be here for a while. Suppose there have been some benefits to all this. Choose the middle one.
I'm simply looking for you to acknowledge the truth.
Oh, I know the truth.
And let's not forget the importance of our actual endgame. Eliminating the Terramorphs. Securing knowledge of the Lazarus plant. What we've set in motion is going to protect thousands, maybe millions of lives. I'm simply requesting one more life be protected. Mine. I've already sent along the evidence of Orlays' role in the attacks to the Cabinet, leaving out my own involvement. All I ask is that you confirm as much to the Cabinet. Tell them that it was Orlays and Orlays alone. After all, I do still have a long list of threats to the UC. This needn't be the end of our good works together.
What kind of work are we talking about here?
Hunting down criminals and other threats to the United Colonies. I expect they'll give me a bit more free range once this is all over. You would help me, like you did with Orlays. Track them down and keep them from doing harm to the United Colonies. Impossible, though, if the Cabinet learns I'm the one responsible for the attacks.
And you're the one responsible for convincing Orlays to do the attacks or whatever he did, so you're the one who's to blame here, buddy. You think I'm just going to forget the fact that you killed people to accomplish your good works?
And how many have you killed to get where you are now?
Necessary.
There are no great works that don't cost lives, Captain. Whether it's winning a war or digging a tram tunnel. So we sacrificed a few dozen in the attacks to possibly protect millions. That seems like a fair exchange to me. I only hope you'll see the same and leave my name out of the discussions to come.
I'll consider it. Doesn't mean I'm gonna do it. You know, I'm not sure what I'm going to tell the cabinet.
Well, I do hope you'll keep the larger perspective in mind, Captain. We've done something great here. Let's not squander the opportunity to do more.
I'm already a citizen. You know, I got what I wanted. I've got no allegiance to the UC. Nothing concrete. And all those deaths that I was a part of were necessary. Let's get out of here. Now we gotta go talk to Hadrian and Dr. With the cabinet there too. So everything will be all out in the open now. Oh, just the two of them, never mind. Now I'll tell them the truth before a big cabinet meeting, just like she did with us.
Perfect timing. We just got in. So on our end, good news. The microbe and the Asylees are both as effective against heat leeches as they are against terramorphs.
Means either plan should work for clearing those critters off our worlds.
Considering what the Lazarus plant is capable of, I don't think we can deal with those things fast enough. I already sent along info to the cabinet to get them up to speed. So what about your end? Did you find anything? Any leads on who might have committed the attacks?
Alright. I'm gonna let them know now, right before the meeting for sure.
That seems unlikely, considering he's been dust for about 20 years.
I'm sure the captain just misspoke. Right?
And if I said I wasn't? Nope, he's alive. The UC's had him this whole time. He orchestrated the attacks from his cell.
No, that's impossible. He's gone. My father is dead.
I swear I'm not lying to you. He's alive and he's responsible for the attacks. Look, I'm sorry I didn't tell you sooner, but it's the truth. Don't have to believe me, doesn't change the facts.
Good God, you're not kidding.
Alive. Vae Victis is alive? How did you find him?
He actually contacted me. He's the reason we found Kaiser. Look, it's not important. What is important, we tell the cabinet. When we found Lai, found the lead while investigating the attacks, took me right to him. Now, we'll be truthful now.
Wait. You knew he was alive and didn't tell us?
Mm-hmm. You should be grateful I'm telling you at all. Didn't really seem relevant before now. I couldn't. I was sworn to secrecy, but this felt too important.
You were sworn to... You swore. You were just doing your duty, weren't you? Yeah, I guess I, of all people, should know what a burden that can be. Doesn't mean I'm not mad. But I guess you letting us know late is preferable to never. Now at least we can inform the cabinet and let them deal with him.
Mm-hmm. What do you think the cabinet will do to him? He asked we leave out his involvement in the attacks to consider the lives he's helped save. He can't be allowed to get away with this. Let's ask Curtis.
I honestly don't know. If it were me, I'd make damn sure he never spoke to another human being again. But I may be a bit less than impartial. But for the wanton murder of civilians, I doubt anything's off the table.
Yeah, he can't be allowed to get away with this.
Exactly. The people he harmed deserve justice. But now I guess we've got our answer. Nothing left to do but put it all in front of the cabinet. Any last things we needed to discuss? This might be our last opportunity to talk things through before the cabinet weighs in on a decision regarding the terramorphs.
Let's see, what do you think the cabinet will do when they learn about his involvement in the attacks? What kind of risks are there if we decide to bring back Sellies? So both approaches to clearing our worlds are effective against heat leeches. Which method of dealing with the Terramorphs are you two leaning towards? Nothing else in mind. Let's head in there. The bottom one.
It's hard to know. Unlike my father, the cabinet aren't butchers. But killing UC citizens, along with everything else he's done, is unforgivable. But if you're really that concerned, you could request they be lenient. They might be willing to spare him.
I'm thinking they should execute him in front of us this time. What kind of risks are there? Bring back
Asylees aren't hostile to humans, but they are megafauna. If someone decides to pick a fight with one, it could get ugly. But they've already been spread far and wide once before when the UC was raising them as livestock, so the risk of introducing them to new worlds is minimal. Using them to clean up the Terramorphs and leeches, though, it's not going to be nearly as expedient as the microbe would be. Given what we know now about the Lazarus plant, the speed of the job does matter. But going with the Asylees, we're at least dealing with known risks.
So both approaches to clearing our worlds are effective against heat leeches.
They are.
Microbe needed minimal adjustment to account for heat leech anatomy.
And the Asylees seem like they're even better at tracking leeches than morphs.
Hell of a sight to watch, though, when they catch them. Like an open airlock guzzling angry spaghetti.
Which method of dealing with the Terramorphs are you two leaning towards?
Microbe is going to make the cleanup a whole lot quicker. If we're concerned about this Lazarus plant getting deployed again, that's the way to go.
The cabinet can secure the Lazarus plant, and then we're not risking any surprises when it comes to dealing with a microbe.
You're being paranoid. You know the science. You know we can make this safe.
I do know the science. I also know math. And a 1 in a million chance of a mutation isn't 0. So I guess we're still in discussion. Probably best at this point to let the cabinet weigh in, see if they have a preference.
Well, nothing else on my end. Let's head in there.
Then here we go.
Alright, time to address the cabinet. Alright everyone, well we're going to go ahead and stop here. And during our next video, we're going to continue and hopefully conclude the mission, The Legacy Forged, and present all the evidence and the solutions we have to the Terramorph problem to the cabinet. Well, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. See you next time. Thanks for watching this video today from ChnkySlothGaming. Be sure to subscribe to our channel for more playthroughs and future gameplay content. If you enjoyed this video, give us a like and leave us a comment. And if you haven't already, be sure to follow us on social media, including Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or X, Twitch, YouTube, and TikTok. And as always, thanks for hanging around, and we'll see you on the next one.